This grieving father breaks down moments before a judge grants him custody of his daughter and the remains of his 2 young boys.
It's unimaginable. It's impossible for us to express our gratitude and our thanks to get us to this point. We still have a long road.
All 3 of his children are riding in an SUV that crashed into a utility pole Saturday night in Fernandina Beach. Their mother, Tanya Kapalia Eason, was behind the wheel. Investigators now say Kapalia Eason admitted to them she was drinking before she got into the SUV to take a total of 7 children home from a Halloween party.
The judge said this was a factor in his decision to grant Andrew Byrd temporary custody. Channel 4's Janice Harris was there for the emergency hearing where the judge called this a staggering tragedy. Janice.
Yes, that is exactly what he called it, a staggering tragedy. And you were able to see a little bit of relief in Andrew Byrd once he was given that decision from the judge that he would get custody of his daughter and the remains of his 2 little boys. But you saw many different emotions inside that hearing today. An emotional Andrew Byrd embraces his wife just seconds after Judge Adrian Soud ruled that Byrd would get temporary custody of his daughter, Nina, and the remains of his 2 boys, taking custody away from their mother, Tanya Kapalia Eason, who sat across the table showing little emotion.
The father's 2 motions that have been filed, specifically the emergency motion for temporary custody of minor child, is granted.
Before the ruling, Judge Soud had one question for the Department of Family and Children that revealed Kapalia Eason admitted to drinking the night of the crash.
She had 2 drinks, 2 shots, and 3 or 4 pudding shots prior to getting in the vehicle with the children and driving.
During the hearing, Judge Soud said that Kapalia Eason had also asked a witness to taint Byrd's character to reduce his chances of getting custody.
That witness, according to the department's investigation, indicated to the department that the mother asked that witness to say negative things about the father, but the witness informed the department that the witness was unable to do that in good conscience.
That attempt failed, and Byrd now has custody during an emotional hearing that the judge could only describe as a staggering tragedy.
You have a child with him?
Yes.
That's not your child. That's both of your child. No, just a second. That child is both of yours. So either you take the child or he takes the child. He's the father no less than you're the mother. So.
Because then he told me he was going to take Lila with him at 1:30 in the morning.
Just a second. So he said, if I'm going to leave my house, if you're telling me to leave the house, I'm going to take my daughter with me.
Even though I have sole legal custody of her?
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No. At that point, are you telling me you had a court order giving you legal custody of your child? The answer is no.
No.
So at that point, you're the mother, he's the father. He has as much right to take that child as you do.
That's not what I've been told, but...
Well, if you've gotten different advice, you were mistaken.
Okay.
In this country, fathers are not second-class citizens. I know there are a lot of people out there, including judges and probation officers, who still don't get that message, but fathers are not second-class citizens. Sometimes they're actually better parents. Not always. Sometimes it's 50-50. But it's on a case-by-case basis. But anybody that says to me, can't take my daughter with him, it's not yours. It's both of yours. You made her together.
Unless you learn to get along with each other and co-parent this child is, and I'm telling you from reading what little I did from this judge's order, he's going to end up with full custody of the child because this judge is not going to take nonsense from you. It's clear to me. I'm just telling you, this judge who heard your case is not going to take nonsense from you. If you find a reason to fudge with the custody arrangement, because this man is not giving up. And what happens in situations like this is if there is an obstreperous parent who undercuts another parent, what's going to happen is you're going to lose custody of this child. I just want you to understand, I'm giving you the benefit of my crystal ball. He's keeping all the stuff that's in his house. Even though the judge found, I don't care if you have receipts, I don't care if you have toilet paper from here to Pluto. The judge found that you lived together and that you were unemployed since 2008. Do you want me to read the finding?
Yes, my mother-in-law
just right here.
I even have just a statement.
Mother lives in Belleville with her mother, her brother, her 8-year-old son was born of a previous relationship. Mother is a student. She was last employed in 2008. So that when you were living with him, when you were living with him for 2 years, unless you had some other form of income, he was supporting you.
My mother.
Your case is dismissed. Listen to me. Listen to me.
He
Her
never
case
supported
is
anything.
dismissed. Listen to me carefully.
Okay.
I read your counterclaim, which you would never have filed but for this ridiculous lawsuit that she filed.
No.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Because I
just wanted it over.
What? You want it over.
Right.
I understand that, and you're right.
I just want my
She's-
property.
You can't have it. It's not yours.
It is mine. I
The
have
case is
receipts for it,
dismissed.
and
We're
it's
done.
paid
Put her
for.
out.
Marriage.
You're withdrawing your counterclaim, correct? Yes, you are.
Oh, well, the deductible, can I
We're done.
Okay.
I was called in by a CPS investigator, and I was judged, tried, and convicted in her mind as being extremely guilty before I even arrived at the Collin County CPS office. I tried to explain to her that, again, we had been in a long battle. For 8 months, we had been, my ex-wife and I had been engaged in a highly contentious divorce and custody battle, and that this was a false allegation. Unfortunately, they did not believe me, and I was charged with sexual improprieties with my son. It cost me my teaching, my teaching position, as well as my freedom. I was denied access to my son for over 4 months, despite my attempts to explain and express to CPS that there was a wide variety of brainwashing activities going on by his mother. CPS investigated me for 12 months. It took 3 court trials to be able to finally earn full visitation with my son. Each time, CPS pushed that I would not be allowed to have any visitation with my son in the name of erring on the side of caution. In one particular hearing, the judge even stated that he had heard multiple allegations against me, but yet was never provided any real evidence to support the claims.
How old was your son at the time?
He was 6.
And he was interviewed?
By CPS 3 times. I frequently reported to CPS that my ex-wife was brainwashing him, that she was engaged in parental alienation or pathogenic parenting. For 12 months, CPS refused to believe me. She had a bachelor's degree and experience as a police officer. She had a master's degree in clinical psychology. She had a PhD in criminology and taught courses at the University of Texas at Dallas in victimology. Yet none of that made any difference to CPS and their investigation. For 12 months, CPS believed me to be a danger to my son. They only changed their mind when, after a week-long jury trial, the sole custody of my son was awarded to me, and she was stripped of her parental rights. And after that, she was allowed to go home, and she shot my son, and then shot herself. Only then did CPS begin to believe that maybe she, not I, might have been the problem. I asked, no, I begged, that as CPS is looking to reevaluate how they are taught, to include the role that they can play in highly contentious child custody battles, how that she was able to manipulate them to believing her and not seeing the true evidence that many other medical professionals did see. Parental alienation, pathogenic parenting, hostile aggressive parenting, whatever you might want to call it, is real, and CPS plays a big role in the front lines of protecting children.
And whether you like him or not, whether you like her or not, whether he's a nice guy or not, whether he's a bum or not. He's a bum that you picked to make 2 children with. And if he shows up to see the children on a Wednesday, and he's given you some indication that he wasn't going to be there on Wednesday, and for no other reason than he said he wasn't going to come, you don't let your children see him, that's wrong.
But
that's wrong. It's not between the 2 of you. He could be the biggest bum in the world. He lived with his children. His children know who he is. They have a right to see their father unless he is abusive to them, dangerous to them, which I assume that prior to 2007 you never made that allegation. Would that be a fair statement?
That would be fair.
Well, then unless he had some psychotic breakdown, which I doubt.
Well,
I doubt. Nothing changed with regard to his love for his children from 2007 to 2009, except that you were PO'd with him. Now, that's unfair. Whether you like that or not, it's unfair. It's unfair for the children. Unfair to him, I don't care about. Unfair to you, I don't care about. But it's unfair for the children. And if you deny them the right to see their father, they will eventually hate you. I want you to understand that. I want you to be prepared for the fact that if you don't let your children visit meaningfully with their father, there will be a day down the road when they will hate you, justifiably so. Do you get it? Do you get it? Justifiably so, because you will have allowed your anger to get in the way of their relationship with their father. Good, bad, or middle of the road. That's who you picked to make them with. You don't visit your bad judgment onto your children. Do we understand each other?
I understand you. I don't agree with you at all.
I don't give a... Listen, since I'm not adjudicating that or not, I have to tell you this. In 40 years, I've seen tens of thousands of women just like you who will invest all of their beautiful bloom time in hating the person that they made their children with. And I guarantee you this. You know what's going to happen? Eventually, you're going to drive him away. He's got a beautiful new fiancé, and he and this beautiful new fiancé will go on and make a beautiful new family. And one day he's going to say, I'm tired. I want to see my kids. I would love to see my kids, and I feel badly that I'm not seeing my kids. But she really is an SOB, and she created this problem, and when they get older, they'll see me, but I'm not going to waste my time anymore. Eventually, he's going to say that.
Mr. Baxter said that.
Just a second. If he said it, it's because you made it difficult. I've seen you for a very short period of time, and I know that if he said it up until now, he said it because you've made it difficult. It's not right that he's got a new girlfriend, that he's gone on to a new life, that you don't have a new life, that you don't have a new life. All of those things are very unfair, that you're living with your sister, that you no longer have a home for your children. I read your answer.
We have a beautiful home. We have a beautiful new home, and we are very happy.
Well,
and we have
you want me to read your answer? You want me to read your answer?
Sure. Yeah.
Fine. I'm going to read what you said. Then if what you said is a lie, you said, because of Chris, I don't have a place to raise my children. My sister has taken us in on a temporary basis. That's what you swore to in your answer.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful home.
Miss Rizzo, I said all that's necessary to you.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.